What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We're sitting at about $60,430 right now for Bitcoin, and this is coming after 2 days ago that impeccable bull trap or rally, whatever it is. We'll find out soon enough. We're chilling. We're chilling right now. From a high point to a low point, relatively speaking. That move did close us above the 618, but the next day got us below it. The golden ratio area. We tipped the 6.9 and then moved back down. It's very, very common to do this exact thing. Find resistance, pull back to the 0.5, and then move up. Or even pull back to the 382 and then pull up. So I moved back down to about 58.6K. Shouldn't be scary. A little bit below that, obviously. And then I moved back to about 56.2K, a little bit below 56.2K. Should not be scary either. Let's just say 56.1 to 56.2K. At any rate, either outcome would be a higher low. If it was down here or right here, it would be a higher low. And again, very common behavior when reacting with the golden ratio area like this to pull back, find support, and then move up. So that kind of look, if we do move down there and find support there, would give us impending targets at about, what is that, $64.9 thousand at a minimum to $67,200, something like that, up in this area. And then we're back on this old idea of trying to break out of this downtrend that we've been in since March here, right? Each time we get close, we're looking like we want to go up, nope, down. Looking like we want to break it, nope, still lower highs each time. This move up to the 886, 786 zone would give us another attempt, and hopefully on this one we actually do something with it, right? And that doesn't mean that we're going to 100,000 overnight. It could, but likely if we break out of this zone here, we would probably move right back to our all-time high area, maybe just above it, as these fib extensions would suggest. But it all kind of lies in what we do with this drop, or with this corrective phase that we're in. If you would even call it that, right? It's a very short term, a corrective phase of this corrective phase, right? Technically, we're in a downtrend, so the move up is itself a corrective phase. But I just mean it depends on what we do with this, right? How low do we go? Can we hold these areas between, what was it, 56.2K to 60 or 58.6K? What was it? 56.2 to 58.6K, something like that. That's kind of the real question. I don't like the daily RSI right now. I don't like the way it's postured. Rejecting the 50, that's not a good look in itself. The 4-hour RSI does look good, but again, it could start to look bad. Closing below the 60, getting a lower low here wouldn't be nice, especially after that bullish setup you had, which you didn't really do anything with, unfortunately. The 1 hour is starting to roll over. I got to say, I'm a little bit discouraged. So I'm going to stick with that call. I think we're going down first and then up, or maybe down lower first and then up. But one of those two outcomes will happen. So around 58.6K for Bitcoin to 56.15K for the lower ends of that. It might not be either of those numbers exactly. It could be somewhere in between, but that's the range I got. And then afterwards, hopefully, we can strive to see new highs based off of this high here. And then eventually new highs overall. But time will tell. Anyways, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I am going to do one thing before we go away. I'll just throw it up on here for anybody that wants to see it, because I know not everybody has the premium. Daily ribbon is flushed to the downside. Testing that area now. It's not a good look if you reject from here, actually. To be completely fair, that's not really a good look. But this ribbon isn't really to be too regarded right now. Anytime you're moving sideways like this ribbon becomes a lot less reliable. So, just like here, you get your bullish cross, and it's like as soon as the cross happens, that's when you're topped out. You get your bearish cross here, and you're not at the bottom, but you're still at one of the lower parts of this overall move down, right? And certainly if you sold right there, you would have gotten eaten up on this next move up. But I don't know. I'm not that worried about it not looking good versus this daily ribbon, to be completely fair. But it would suggest this rejecting here would suggest lower prices than this. which would be a little bit off-putting for me. But on a weekly basis, ribbon still looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie, though, normally this kind of behavior where you're not bouncing off the ribbon and continuing higher, where you're melting into it like this, that normally does result in a flip to the downside, right? Like here, you didn't bounce into it, you got sucked into it here, end of the bull cycle, right? Where here you were bouncing off of it, right? Bouncing off of it here. Got sucked into it, came down, right? Had that COVID crash, flipped it a little bit. Rejecting it here, moving down, getting sucked into it, then you flip it, right? Like, it's not necessarily a good thing. So we need to get out of this ribbon sooner than later. We need to start moving up sooner than later. And the monthly just looks phenomenal, right? Doesn't matter, always looks great. Didn't even touch it on this next move down, on this last move down. Crazy. Anyways, guys, that was just for funsies. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.